Nurse Allen coming to you today from Healing Healthcare Training Institute. Today I'm going to talk about documentation. What it means to document. Now, when you're taking your test for headmasters, they're going to give you specific instructions. You're going to have a form that's going to look something like this. It's going to look exactly like this. You're going to print your name at the top as it states. You're going to sign your name at the bottom. Those are specific instructions that they will give you that you're going to fill out this form. Now, what skills go on this form? On the top, you have pulse and respirations. So if pulse and respirations are your skills, you are going to document them on this form. That is what you're going to do if that is one of your state testable skills. The next one on this form is urine output. On the form, it specifically says NMLs, and I want you to pay close attention to that because when you're doing your documentation, it's specific things that you have to do. Now, I'm going to bring you this over here so that you guys can see this a little closer. Okay? I'm going to bring it a little closer. Now, when you're measuring urine, I'm stepping out for a second just to put this on the barrier, just so that you know anytime that you're having any kind of urine, it is to be on a barrier. Okay? So you want to have it on the barrier. Now, in school, you are taught that you have on one side is ounces, and on the other side is cc's. Cc's and mLs are the same system. So when you're measuring your urine output, mLs or cc's, it's going to be on your right side. So when you're measuring your urine for state testing, as I have here, okay, I'm going to try to put this as close as possible so that you guys can see it. Now, when you're measuring it at eye level. Yes, you can do this in ounces, and you see it says 14 ounces. So if you're going to use ounces, you're going to convert it over by multiplying by the number 30. So you would take your calculator. I should have had my calculator out. You're going to take your calculator and you're going to do 14, turn it on, 14 times 30 gives you that much. So that's how much urine you have in cc's or mLs if you are testing. Okay? I can't tell you how many people come and they do it in ounces and don't do the conversion. Again, this is a state testable skill. So when you come to do your test for headmasters, you have to follow all directions. Those are directions. You can't come in and do what you want to do. You have to make sure you're following all the instructions that are given. Not what you did at work, not how you do things. You want to follow exactly what headmasters is asking of you. Because if you do not do the things, this is turned into the headmasters, and they take this documentation, and if it's not accurate, then you're not successful on your test. So just take time and go over your skills, knowing that when you're measuring urine, you're measuring in cc's and mLs. And on your form, it specifically say mL. So when you see the mLs, you're measuring it on the right side. If you kind of good at it on doing it in ounces, just use your calculator. You have to multiply it by 30. They're never going to ask how many ounces. They're going to ask you, now on your test it will. Now for testing, skill state testing, your knowledge test, they do ask about ounces in milliliters. But for your knowledge test, your skills test, they're only going to ask about it in mLs, which is the same equivalent of cc's. So when you're measuring your urine, please put your right documentation down so that you are successful. Again, you want to follow all given instructions so that you are successful for your testing. Please click like, subscribe, and share. I will be bringing you little information to make sure that you're successful for your test. Take a deep breath and breathe and be ready for your testing. Thank you. Have a nice day.